Davin and Jack are not role models. They're just two guys in a garage drinking beer and talking. Some of what is said is not in the best taste or interest of national security. Some of the statistics they cite are not 100% accurate. Do your own research. They may be wrong about anything and everything. Their memories are bad because they're kind of old and have been drinking. Oh yeah, always remember to drink responsibly. Who are we kidding? The only people that are watching this are their moms and some random guy who passed out with autoplay on. And welcome to 240 Tuesdays.
I'm Davin, that's Jack.
I'm Jack, that's Davin. Welcome to 240 Tuesdays.
All right. We have some camera issues, but we're back with the fish lens right now going at it. This is our first inaugural podcast. All right. The general topic is we're two guys. As you can see, I got the red, he got the blue. We got some political topics, some pop culture stuff, and maybe some not need to know stuff.
Yeah.
First topic, we're going to bust it out early. Now everybody knows. After our major topics are limited to 15 minutes. So I got the timer going. And once we start that, we're going to go from there. We got hot topics tonight. So here we go. We got the flame going for the hot topic. And we're starting at 15 minutes.
15 minutes. And I'm going to let Davin start off with this, but our topic for today to begin the whole shebang is gun control. As everybody knows, it's been in the news, especially recently. We're in the early part of August in 2019, and what do you have to say about it?
Huge topic, especially after this weekend. Two major mass shootings after 13 hours, okay? We had the Texas and then the Ohio shootings. Of course, I'm a moderate right. Thought I was a conservative right. I thought I was way over to the right. Actually, a friend of mine, not really at all, Tim Pool on YouTube, took the test. Come to find out, in the center of everything, the test you take, I am 1 block to the right on the right side and 2 blocks up. So I would say I'm a moderate right on there.
That's pretty much the definition. I haven't taken that test, but I'm pretty sure I would be leaning towards the left. But I'm registered independent because I like to keep an open mind when it comes to voting. But I am pretty liberal, if Davin's going to say he's conservative.
As we're sitting in the garage, we got 40s, we got beer. We're just two different sides of everything working together. A lot of what's going on today is people cannot have a discussion. We can't just talk about something. I've worked with Jack probably over 10 years, almost 11 years. And once a week, once a month, we come in and I'm like, bro, immigration. And he's like, oh, and we talk 20 minutes of work about a topic. And after 10 years, I'm like, we can disagree, but we still have to work together.
True.
And we're still friends. We still hang out.
Absolutely. We
can disagree on stuff. So, with that, on the premise of 240 Tuesdays, I'm resuming the timer.
All right.
All right. 13:45 left.
Let's do it.
Okay. Here's what we're looking at. Guns don't kill people is the situation. Okay? Recently in the media, everybody is pouncing on Obama. I'm getting there. Pouncing on Trump as far as, gun control, your hate speech, all of this. So, just for the facts, Obama had 56 mass shootings during his 8 years with 326 casualties in the United States for his presidency. Okay? Gun control wasn't changed. He didn't do anything for gun control. Nothing was changed at all. The Second Amendment says thou shalt not be infringed upon, and in 84, Reagan put the assault ban in place, which says no automatic firearms, no silencers, you have to have limited magazines per state. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to blame Obama for all of these, the hate speech because he's following the law.
You meant Trump. You said Obama again.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know the state we're in. I'm trying to be good. I was hoping you would go first because I got a ton of crap.
Well, I'll let you lead into it.
Okay.
Because, first off, Obama absolutely did do something. He passed legislation to restrict gun ownership by the mentally ill. And one of the first things ya boy did when he came into office, on the DL, which is not his style at all, rolled it back. Because the NRA gave him money to do so.
Here's the NRA speech. Go ahead.
I'm not going to get into the NRA yet. I'll wait for you to make a couple more points. But he absolutely did. He tried. And that was all he could get because the House and the Senate at the time were both Republican, and Republicans love their guns. And this is not a fight against firearms. This is a fight against stupid people with firearms. And the problem with this entire situation is that all of these legislators that are fighting for gun ownership rights as opposed to making correct legislation and correcting the problem in the United States is that the NRA gives scores of money to their campaign. And because of that, they like to listen to what the NRA has to say. And the NRA are not good people.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there real quick, and I'm going to let you go. This totally went south. For the last 2 days since Monday, I've been worried about the conversation we're having. And then Jack went to the mental health side of crazy things with the guns and the evilness. Come on. Okay, totally agree. And as one of my favorite YouTubers, an ex-NRA representative, you got to look into it, Colin Noir, and I'm going to say that wrong, specifically put a Second Amendment video online. Yeah, we're in the garage. That's a car driving by. Hopefully the ice cream truck will come by soon. Happened before. The whole thing is we have raised a generation of entitled people that do not know how to deal with their feelings, and actually when they're told no or something happens in their life, they lose it.
So you would say, okay, so you're entitled to have your gun?
Oh, 100%. That's the Second Amendment right to have a gun. Yeah. Again, just like the talking point. Guns don't kill people. Stupid, crazy people who have been not necessarily brainwashed, but taken over to a side of, I'm not getting my way, I can get a gun, I'm going to shoot people.
Yeah, so wouldn't the right answer be to make it more difficult to get a gun that kills a lot of people?
Okay, so here's a fact. The state of Colorado that we are in not only requires a background check for every single gun purchase, including private parties. Okay? The only thing it doesn't need a background check for is when you have a family transfer. Okay? So I have a gun, 20 years old, whatever. My child becomes 21 and is legally able to have a handgun. I could give that to them. Remember the disclaimer at the beginning. Okay? I checked my carry laws. Even if you do a private party sale, you still have to go and pay a transfer for a background check at a licensed dealer. Okay?
Yeah, but that's Colorado, and we're ahead of the game in a lot of different ways compared to the rest of the United States. And so we have to talk nationally, because if we talk locally, we're always going to come out on top because Colorado's awesome. Like, the huge...
I don't know about awesome, but
I think Colorado's awesome.
California just pushed through legislation to where every time you go buy ammo, I don't care if it's 120 millimeter round or 500 rounds of 223, you have to have a background check, and you have to pay for that every single time you buy ammo.
Yeah, and that sounds reasonable also. But this is still small picture. We need to look big picture because there are so many ways to get around the easily loopholed facets that we have. Like, you could still buy guns at gun shows.
No. Not in Colorado. 100% not. You cannot walk out of a gun show in Colorado without having a background check. They actually...
So the dudes at the gun show that runs every weekend, they run your background.
Actually, it's every last Sunday of the month at the Merchandise Mart. They actually have a booth. So you go to buy a gun at a booth at the Merchandise Mart every last Sunday of every month. You buy a gun. Here's the money. They give you a tag. You take that tag over to a booth and you stand in line, depending on how busy CBI is, and have to get a background check, have to get a number on it. You take that back to the dealer that you've already given the cash for, give him that ticket. He has to have that ticket for 6 years after a purchase to get that.
Yeah.
So every single purchase at a gun show in Colorado.
But it's still Colorado. See, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, Colorado is not the issue. The nation is the issue, and the fact that you can purchase obscene things to amplify your hobby of gun control, or of shooting, or potentially hunting, or potentially protecting your family, then it's absolutely ridiculous. The Dayton, Ohio guy had a drum barrel magazine and unloaded a lot of rounds in 30 seconds before he was taken out by armed responders. Like, that's obscene. That's just ridiculous. How is that not ridiculous? Like, for real.
Maybe that much ridiculous. The whole point of it, his fault, okay, and I'm totally not justifying anything this guy did, okay? His fault is he pulled up 2 cars down from the cop cars, walked down, and as he started firing, the only reason it was only 28 seconds until the cops engaged, because they were sitting outside the club.
Yeah, it would have been way longer, and way more people would have died.
Which is good. On a realistic note, if anybody has actually shot any sort of drum magazine, the same thing that happened with the Aurora shooter, they are so irreliable. The military doesn't even use them because they jam all the time, which happened in the Aurora shooting case, which was awesome, which now in Colorado is banned.
Yeah, but why is that justification for allowing those to be on the market still?
Okay, so you have a semi-automatic gun, okay? He will never use the word assault rifle, assault gun, assault fork, assault straw here, because I will jump on him for the noun of assault. Because when Reagan jumped on the ban of fully automatic rifles in the 80s, it's done. We're good with that. Yeah. Okay? Guns are not the problem. There is 60 million guns at least in the United States right now.
Yeah.
And if there was a gun issue, every single solitary day we would be carrying, and we would be fearful to go out to get groceries, to get gas with our family.
People are fearful, and there is a gun issue. If you look at how many deaths in the U.S. compared to every other country.
Okay.
It's obscene. It's absolutely obscene.
Okay. So here we go. I love Jack. I'm not picking on him. Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure we got this cleared up. This year, in 7 months, actually 8 because it happened in August, but it was only the first 2 days.
Still counts.
13 mass shootings this year in 2019. 62 people dead. Mass shootings.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a shitload.
The city of Chicago, in the exact same time frame, has had 1,517 people shot, and out of those 1,517, 293 deaths.
Wait. Were they shot by guns?
Guns.
So that would be the problem.
Oh, not only was it black on black crime, but it was guns. You cannot take away guns. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We have 3 minutes, and I'm going to take up the last one, and Jack can take up the 2.
Okay.
I know, I cheated. I know. Top 10 deaths in the United States. Top 10. Heart disease, 700,000. Cancer, 600,000. Unintentional deaths. Accidents.
Okay.
Might be us one day. Number 3 is unintentional. 4 is chronic lower respiratory disease at 160,000. Strokes, 160,000. Alzheimer's, 121. Diabetes, 83,000 for diabetes. Hey, let's get refined sugar out of things.
Keep going.
There we go. Influenza and pneumonia, 55,000 at number 8. Kidney disease, 50,000. Suicides, not including guns, 47,000. The top 10.
Right. And what's number 11?
Oh, I only got the 10.
Because there's 40.
The statistic actually said 90 plus deaths per day on the roads in America regarding vehicles.
So wait, okay. So rather than preventing 40,000 deaths by getting rid of guns, we're comparing guns to cancer. Like, how is that realistic?
Because cancer, chronic lower respiratory, stroke, diabetes is a lot more preventable than taking 60 million, well, remember the disclaimer, 60 million guns off of the street.
No, it's not. No, it's absolutely not. And why would you not surrender a firearm if in doing so and supporting the relinquishing of firearms removed that factor from number 11?
My job, a job of mine, not my job, a job of mine is a cash business working at a car wash. During the winter months, the sun goes down about 4 o'clock, okay? The vagrant and homeless rate, the amount of people I kick off my property during the winter times that are living on my private property is ridiculous.
When you draw on them?
Do you? No, not at all.
Then what's the point?
Okay. The point is if I have to, I'm able to, and I will protect myself, my business, and my property for somebody that doesn't care and will kill me, shank me, stab me with a syringe or needle, knife, and or try to bludgeon me just for $20 worth of fucking quarters.
And that's when you call the police.
The police. The police that have an average response time of about 3 minutes. Yeah, you got it. All right.
Son of a... All right. This was part 1 of gun control. We're going to come back to it at another time. We knew this was going to be enthusiastic and long-winded, so we're going to come back to it at a different time.
Yeah.
You need to turn that off.
You already hit cancel. This is why next week in this White Trash podcast, we are going to get it on and go for that. The whole point of it is we can disagree as people should be.
Yeah.
We're drinking a beer, we disagree, but at the end of it, we're both family men with wives and kids, property to protect, and we just want the best for us as far as we can to make our lives happy and safe.
And the best for society in general as a whole. So anyway, to be continued on gun control. 15 minutes is way too short, but we did it that way on purpose. Next up, Disney. Oh. And this topic came up recently between Davin and I because I had a little vent session about how it's ridiculous of Disney to make a cash grab by just remaking all of their classic treasured films in their live action style. And I was actually kind of ticked about it. I was like, because they came up with so many life-changing and positive morally videos, or movies rather, that they kind of feel like they're phoning it in. With this new transition of remaking everything. The stories are already established, they're pulling on our nostalgia heartstrings, and they're getting us into the theater, and we're paying them for it. All that being said, I had to kind of reel that back a bit, because last night my wife...
Hang on. Here's the story. So we went through this all. Jack and I were like on the same page. We're going to talk about Disney before he went to go see Lion King.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that before we went, and we're like, this is wrong, Jack goes to see The Lion King last night.
Yeah. And we were anticipating this was going to be a couple-minute long topic when we hit it on our podcast, but here we are. So, I went to see it last night, and I have to say, objectively, it was a damn fine movie. I was adequately entertained. I loved it. My wife cried a couple times because it not only reminded her of that stuff back in the day, but hit on all those important emotional moments again, and also as I continued to think about it, I came to the conclusion that Jon Favreau is just an amazing filmmaker. Jon Favreau will never see this, but I love him. And he, because with this and then previously The Jungle Book, those were fantastic. And they're really entertaining. They hit on everything you remember from being a kid, but also revisit it in a way that a younger generation can appreciate, and also an older generation can just appreciate the spectacular graphics that they do and how they convey the story in a new way. And so I kind of reined it back a little bit, but ultimately I'm still a little pissed off that they're not coming up with new storylines instead of just regurgitating their old stuff.
The 80s, early 90s were great. The original Disney classics are awesome. Still love everything from pre-96 on. I haven't seen...
So specific.
kind of particular. Jungle Book, Aladdin. I did see Beauty and the Beast, and I already cleared this with the wife. The only reason I watched like the first 20 minutes of Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson. That was it. Gotta admit it. There's just something, to my point of view, Scooby-Doo, A-Team, all the 80s remakes that they just keep coming up with.
Yeah.
The 80s, early 90s was a time in your life where you're growing up and you actually get the nostalgia of good versus bad, positive role models, people doing the right things. And I just don't see, I don't know. One day I might pirate the movies and not pay to watch something like that, to be honestly. One day we'll see. I just don't get it. So I wish they would bring back the 80s stuff where they have the good guy, the bully, the girl, the nerd, the jock, something like...
You're talking 16 Candles?
16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Say Anything.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, just something with a positive moral value on there. Can't Hardly Wait, she's out of my league.
Yeah, but we have to remember, 80s movies were also kind of rapey. Revenge of the Nerds, that shit was ridiculous.
There will never be another genre of meatballs and Porkies in Revenge of the Nerds.
It's true.
Because people just can't sit down and watch a movie and be like, it's okay. It's humor. It's funny. Let's just watch it and go.
There's still good humor without those aspects of it. I think Superbad was badass. That movie was hilarious. And I think it was kind of in that same style and vein. But when the situation presented itself, the good guy, Michael Cera, was like, oh, you're drunk. And he backed off. And it was like, yeah, thanks, bro. You made the right decision. And so I think that's kind of how we're evolving in entertainment. But it feels way more few and far between than in the 80s. But that could just be our perspective because we condense all the good memories down into what we're thinking about that at the time. But
we just need Michael Bay and the light flare.
No, we do not.
For every Transformers, Star Trek, we just need light flare everywhere. I'm going to find an effect on OBS for light flare in the intro so we can have light.
No, vetoed.
Right.
Michael Bay took a huge toozy on the Transformers of my memory.
Yeah.
I miss
the original Transformers, for everybody that doesn't know, Optimus Prime died.
Yeah.
It was one of the first cartoons in the 80s where everybody shot 1,000,000 rounds in an episode, nobody got hit, and everything turned out fine.
Yeah.
And then I want to say, you can't quote me, anywhere from 84 to 86.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the original Transformers cartoon came out, and Optimus Prime is dead. Yeah. He's done.
And that was it. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, semi-truck.
Yeah. I actually, other than E.T., I actually kind of shed a little tear when I was young, before my balls dropped.
After that, no more tears.
Yeah, no more tears are allowed. Ever. It doesn't happen. No more.
I cry all the time.
Yeah. Not me, I'm not allowed to.
But speaking of, before we wrap up, Davin's flipping his notepad. Jon Favreau, if you do ever see this, remake Ninja Turtles. Because even though I love them, and the new ones, decent. I happened to sit next to like a 7-year-old the last time I saw it, and that kid was geeking out, and it made it so much more enjoyable. But you're the king, you're the master. Please do a tribute to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And our 3 viewers right now, I keep picking up my phone just to make sure this is our first live stream. We have 3 viewers.
Yes.
Thank you, family and friends. I like that.
All 3 of you.
All right, you can take a break and go get a beer because I know you don't have anything in front of you.
Right on.
We make sure. Today in history. Ooh, there we go.
All right.
Condensing mic, just heard that. Today in history, just trying to get some fun things going for this. So, woo, yay, Bob Marley coming up big.
Millions of other Jamaicans, but yes.
Yeah. Side note, good, bad, I don't know. 1945, U.S. dropped the first bomb in World War II on Hiroshima. Yay, we won, but it's estimated 150,000 people died in that one moment. And unfortunately, on the 9th of August, Nagasaki also got hit, getting Japan out of World War II. Good, bad, I'm not necessarily a war person, even though I am on the right side of things. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save nuclear weapons for another time.
Yeah, nuclear weapons. This
one's good.
This day, August 6th, in 1930, Betty Boop made her debut.
Much love.
Yeah. For all you old people, fun times. We remember black and white cartoons. One of the first iconic role models, which actually... Marilyn Monroe actually took some credit for that style from Betty Boop, which came in 1930. A good for me, well, a good in history and a good for him. On August 4th, unfortunately, Anne Frank was captured in 1944. History. Follow that. That's a great book. Most of us, not anymore, especially my kids going through school these days, did not have to read the Anne Frank diaries.
No stuff.
Yeah, no stuff.
That should still be required reading. I think it's really important.
Yeah, they're changing some stuff. But on a side note, on August 4th, somebody else's birthday, somebody else who was born in Kenya.
All right. Barack Obama was not born in Kenya, but he was born on August 4th. Much love, Mr. Obama.
All right. So, in history is pretty much done. All right. We're going to do one more little notepad thing before we pull out the bucket, which we'll tell everybody about, which is just a fun little thing. We are at, I don't know, because we're still...
28 minutes.
28 minutes. There we go.
We're good.
All right, today in gaming, which is horribly hard, because in the 2000s, everything just exploded. From PC to console, there is a list of 30-plus games almost every day from 2003 on that just exploded coming up. But in 1986...
Our girl Metroid. Mm-hmm. One of the greatest games of all time. And a female protagonist, which no one knew until you beat the game, and then it was... Little kids everywhere had their minds blown and their hearts open to the possibility of female heroes.
Yes. Feminism in games in 1986. Good
Hell
job.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to grab the mystery crawfish pot of random stuff that we've come up with. And if anybody has submissions, send them our way. We'll throw them in the pot.
Like, share, comment at the bottom for the 4 people that are watching. Oh, I get
to pick the first one.
So I'll pick the first one. Picking a topic. Random topics coming out. Could be good, could be bad. Over versus under toilet paper.
This shit is important.
Horribly important.
I haven't ever asked you this question. All right, so I'm just going to go off. There's 2 ways. One of them's the correct way and one of them's the incorrect way. With the tab of the toilet paper hanging over the top, so you pull it down, and that's the way it unrolls, is the correct way. What do you think?
It's the correct way. But if you have a cat,
Yes.
if you're a cat lover,
Yes.
I have a cat. I have a Sphinx, a hairless cat. One day I'll bring him out. Cats love to grab the toilet paper and roll it down. You like that? I just saw me doing that on camera, and that was kind of crazy. Cats will empty your entire roll when they're little. They will decimate a roll of toilet paper in a night. Over the top, 100%.
Unless you have a cat.
Unless you have a cat.
I completely agree.
Yeah, if the cat likes it, then you're picking up toilet paper off the ground, trying to get your 6 to 8 squares and folding it over and making sure everything's nice and neat.
Yeah.
So, all right. Give me
That's
the bucket. It's
that's
your
the
turn.
only exception
Yeah.
to the over-the-top rule.
Over the top rule.
If you have a cat. If you don't have a cat, hang your toilet paper correctly. Topic number 2. What's the best candy? Dang, that's an easy one.
Candy. Who's the guy that made up these fucking things?
Me mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Look, you made it a hot topic.
I just turned it on. All right, so I answered the last one first.
Okay. Sour Patch Kids, bar none, hands down, best candy of all time. I would eat them until my mouth bled, and probably still would today. Nothing even comes close. Sour Patch Kids all day, every day.
You know what Sour Patch Kids remind me of?
I don't even want to ask.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, right on. Garbage
Yeah,
Pail Kids
I
are
mean,
badass.
Great. For us poor people that couldn't have baseball cards when we were young, we got a pack or two of Garbage Pail Kids. And it was fun and very disturbing, and we had to hide them from our parents under our pillows because they couldn't do that.
And you could peel them off and stick them to whatever you wanted to offend random people.
Exactly. And it still offends random people today.
Truth.
Truth.
Candy.
Swedish Fish.
No stuff, Swedish
No
Fish.
stuff. No stuff. Not a chocolate person. My dad was allergic to chocolate growing up. No chocolate ever allowed in the house. We didn't have much of the sweet stuff.
Yeah.
I would say the very close number second would be the sour cherries.
Oh, yeah.
With the
those
hard
were
outside
so
and
good.
you get-
Heck
yeah,
yeah, and all
oh,
gummy
yeah.
on the ends. Those
Yeah.
things were good.
No,
Nice.
those things
That's
were-
a good call.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Those are good.
But if I had a choice at the dollar store, or I actually go and get something, it's definitely going to be Swedish Fish.
What about elephant peanuts?
No.
They're a divisive topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, I'll eat them till I'm sick.
Well, and the best thing with Swedish Fish,
Yeah.
They were the first Jolly Rancher that you could put in liquor and let them.
That's completely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the original flavoring of vodka.
And they'd get all fat.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, you couldn't even. Sometimes you had to break the bottle and get them out because they wouldn't come out. But the flavoring would just be amazing in the vodka stuff.
Yeah, so Swedish Fish and vodka.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Boom.
All right. One
Ne-
more?
Yep. All right, you hold it. I'll grab it. Actually, we'll go 2. 1 for me, 1 for you. We'll make this one kind of quick. Oh. Really? Best water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, best water.
Okay, so you answer first so I know where we're going with this.
Well, if we're going to divide it up into 2 categories, number 1, if you're going to go, like, I always drink tap water. Unless it's a special occasion or I'm away from a tap, in which case I'll probably buy Fiji water just because I don't know if it's their advertising or what, but it's so soft. And I love Fiji water. But, hands down, best water all time, hose water.
Hose. I was going to say, growing up, there was no such thing as helmets. You were thirsty outside playing. Are you going to go all the way inside to get a cup, to get some... No, you just... I hope I got him. You just go for the hose.
Yep.
I don't know why all of the Westminster water, which sucks, and raised our rate 10% this year, 10% next year. It especially sucks when you're in the car wash business. I mean, you just drink it. It's there. It's clean. It's potable.
Yeah.
I mean, go for it.
And if your first few sips are hot and full of bugs, then that was half the fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hose water all day.
Hose water, less than 2 cents a gallon. Yeah. I am not paying 99 cents for Arrowhead water. I mean, off-brand water.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble. just to have, a liter of water.
I think it's ridiculous, and we're gonna save the plastic industry for another topic. But don't buy bottled water.
No.
Drink from your hose or your tap. Like, be a good human.
I do, in general, kind of off topic. Monday mornings, I buy a styrofoam cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay? I reuse that coffee literally as much as possible. 16 ounces of coffee in the morning, fill it with water 6-7 times a day. Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. We'll definitely probably agree on the plastic side of things. And there's options out there. But we just gotta go.
But we'll save that for a different day. All right, last one.
Last one.
Oh,
Is this
I
a
hope
fire?
We have a lot of time.
All right, I'll turn on the fire.
Christmas decorations.
Oh, shit. All right, Jack hooked me up on this, and I really did not think we were going to get into it this much.
This can be part one.
Part one. And when I find out how to get a video in OBS and show the display, in 2007, if you look up YouTube Wizards of Winter Christmas Show, in 2007, there was actually a video of a guy that had AC strings of lights synchronized to Wizards of Winter.
Way back in 2007.
All the way back in 2007.
All right.
So, of course, with my addictive personality, I was like, share, follow up, do what I can, learn everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now we're in last 2018. I had 11,237 LED Christmas lights on my house. You kind of got to know it. Synced to 14 different Christmas songs. All right. On a side note, shameless plug.
Word.
Westminster Family Light Show on YouTube. We've got recognition on several news channels. We actually had to shut the street down one time on Christmas Eve. Christmas lights this year, every year, have gotten amazing. The only bad thing, and I know you got a house this year, so I might be over there hooking him up a little bit. I got some extra parts. Even if he has like 5 strings of lights going on to music that somebody can pull up, it might happen. So, yeah, it's becoming a huge industry.
Yeah.
And this year I have a box of 6,000 LED pixels, RGB pixels, that I'm going to add to the house. And actually starting September, probably 10th, I'm going to take 1 week off, 1 day off every week until Christmas, hooking my house up with Christmas lights.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And as an unbiased third party, Davin's lights are badass. My wife and I come here every year. She puts them in the paper every year. We love it, and if that's your thing, it's totally worth looking into. There's a ton of resources around, and if Davin can do it, 60% of people could probably knock it out. I, on the other hand, have one of those stupid rotating spotlights that I stab into my lawn.
We call them sparkle bombs.
And that's all we do.
Yeah.
And it says, we're participating.
Yeah.
But, I'm nowhere near as enthusiastic as you all, but I appreciate that you are enthusiastic.
We have a sign this year that says ditto with an arrow for my neighbor that flashes, because they just don't even participate at all. So we got permission, but yeah, the synchronized light community for Christmas lights has gotten extremely technical. The only thing I don't like with the internet and everything else is I actually started this in 2013, almost 7 years ago, when I bought a house to where I could actually drill holes and do stuff with. And now everybody's trying to do it. So it went from a very niche group to, this year in Colorado, there's a small group of about 12 of us that are major contributors. And after this year, we'll see. I mean, we could have another 30 to 40 pop up. We literally have every Wednesday, we sit on a conference call and just talk about our show coming up on a Zoom meeting, which is fun.
Super nerdy, but I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. I know. I don't want to look at our ugly mugs. We're having a few drinks. So back in 2009, when I came back to Colorado, working for a specific company that I legally cannot name without being prosecuted, I started working with this guy and that hat.
Word.
Okay? So, just so we know, bowler hats.
Oh, what?
Yeah, bowler hat trivia. Just for you, Jack. Where and when, or maybe why, were bowler hats even invented?
Invented, I'm going to have to go with England, but I know they were popularized in the U.S. during the Old West.
Okay. Bowler hats in the early 1800s, actually close, were invented in London by a hat maker.
London happens to be in England.
There we go.
All right.
And it was used as protection when riding through the forest on horses.
Protection from like branches and stuff?
Yep, branches and stuff.
Right on.
Yep, it was a riding helmet.
Cool.
It was actually a safety measure, one of the first documented safety things for your dome in London for riding horses.
That is awesome
Yeah.
to know. Thank you.
London hat maker Thomas and William Bowler invented the hats.
Ah.
There we go.
Dude, I did not know that.
No.
That's fantastic.
The only guy in the world that wears a bowler hat and still used to pull all the girls before he was married, adds a conversational piece for the hats, which
That's
was
awesome.
nice.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Stop signs.
Stop signs.
Stop signs.
Okay.
Okay. When were they invented and where? Trick question, because I have these and he doesn't, so I'm just asking.
I'm going to say New York in the early 1800s.
Detroit, 1915.
Detroit!
Detroit!
Another throwback.
Yeah. He's from Detroit. There we go. Another reason I hooked it up. What color were they?
Yellow?
What? Oh, they actually were random colors until 1920.
That sounds counterproductive.
From 1920 to 1954, they were all yellow.
Huh.
The only reason why stop signs are red is because that was the first fade-resistant paint color that they could make.
That is fantastic.
Boom.
Boom.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more.
I'm so ready. These are great.
No, I mean, these are fun. And this one is actually going to be really mind blown on there as we're 42 minutes in. Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah.
Why was it made?
Because Dr. Seuss's publisher bet him that he couldn't make a book with X number of words.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So Dr. Seuss actually bet his publisher that he could not make a book in under 50 words that would sell.
And it's one of the most popular of all time.
Yeah. No, and that's the only reason. And Dr. Seuss made $50 on that bet.
Worth it.
Yeah, $50 back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to prove someone wrong.
Don't ruin your childhood and look up how Dr. Seuss treated his wife.
But then she got payback because after he died, she sold the rights to all his stuff for an ungodly amount of money.
That was the second wife, actually, but yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from Dr. Seuss facts.
Keep one fish, two fish close to your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you do look it up, you're going to be sad.
Horrible. Feminism.
Feminism.
Coming back. All right. Last random facts. How many licks does it take? And you just look. I saw.
I did not look.
Okay. How many
I can't read
licks?
your handwriting anyway.
Exactly. I had
I'm
like
going to quote the commercial anyway. I'm going to say 3.
scientifically 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
By some tiny tongued amateur. 300. That's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. No. They actually, if you Google it, YouTube it, whatever, they actually made a tongue machine.
No.
Yes. And it wrapped around, and every time a tongue hit the Tootsie Pop, it counted, and it took 364 to get to the inside of a Tootsie Pop.
And I hope that that's the only reason they invented that machine.
History, Dr. Kellogg actually probably made several of those machines out of Battle Creek, Michigan, in his wellness center, which is now the Battle Creek Federal Center.
Well, there's that, yeah.
Yeah.
But Kellogg, another guy not to research unless you want to be horribly depressed.
I don't know what these people were thinking.
He had a whole anti-masturbation agenda, which is so not 2019, so don't worry about it.
I don't know. For anti-masturbation, he still made a lot of stuff that made a lot of women happy.
Cereal?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't look that up. And if you do, it's not our fault. All right.
All right.
So, out of the first podcast, we had some technical difficulties. We still have a fisheye camera.
Yeah.
I was saying a little bit better.
We'll sharpen it up for all the fans.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's just hit this real quick. Damn beer.
And tacos.
Oh, Taco Tuesday. Yeah. It was good. 240 Tuesday. That kind of started with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm probably going to do a little later tonight. But, yeah, 240s, video games, Tuesdays. It's a great combination. So that's how it all began. I promised my wife I wouldn't get intoxicated, so we can't actually drink 240s while we do this. But we have them as props. And but we got to be safe, like our disclaimer said. Drink responsibly. But, yeah. That's the origin of it, is me drinking alone in my place playing video games. So that's inspiring.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this has been fantastic, man. I can't wait to do it again next week, and we'll wrap it up and keep things popping. If you have any ideas, send them our way. Otherwise, we're gonna keep pulling stuff out of our ass and talking for about an hour.
Comment, subscribe, send hate mail. We don't care. We're here having fun.
Give me a handshake.
Yeah.
End of the episode. We'll see you next time. Have fun.